You hear it, and it lands like a gentle sunrise. Collect moments, not things. Those words arrive like a small, steady truth, simple, stubborn, luminous. They ask you to look at how you spend your days, how you weigh what matters. They are not a rebuke of possessions. They are an invitation to measure wealth by laughter, by shared silence, by mornings you remember. Feel how that line opens a space inside you, a place where joy is a currency of connection rather than accumulation. Take that breath and let the idea settle, because this is the spark that will guide the rest of our conversation as we travel from quiet recognition to wholehearted action, and you will see why this matters now. Right now, life moves loud and fast. Notifications compete for your attention, catalogs whisper that more will fill a gap, and calendars stack until you scarcely remember why you said yes. The quote asks you to press pause, to notice the tenderness of a child's small hand, the salty taste of late-night conversation, the way your chest lifts when you see someone you love. Those are moments that live inside you long after the boxes are recycled. When you choose moments first, you choose experiences that strengthen you, resilience born from struggle, joy that lingers in memory, relationships that anchor you. Hold that thought gently, because the next step is learning how to find those moments in the ordinary. This quote is a quiet dare. It asks you to trade a checklist of purchases for a list of mornings you'll never forget. It dares you to let spontaneity replace inventory, to let curiosity replace collecting. Imagine trading one impulse buy for one sunrise watched with someone who makes you feel understood, or swapping a gadget for a road trip where your laughter becomes the soundtrack. That trade feels radical, not because it's grand, but because it moves you toward meaning. Keep that dare close. We'll follow it into the stories that prove how small choices become a life that feels rich, not just full. You have that one photograph or memory that surfaces in your mind without warning. Maybe it's messy hair and a spontaneous laugh at midnight, or a quiet bench conversation that changed your outlook. When you look at it, the colors are brighter in your memory than they were in the moment. That is the power of moments. They carry meaning because you live them. They become touchstones, simple anchors that remind you who you are and who you want to be. Let that image settle as proof that experiences, even small ones, outlast the thrill of shopping, and we will trace how to make more of them in your life. Presence is the quiet practice that turns ordinary minutes into significant memories. Think of a friend who listened when you needed it most, or a stranger who offered a simple kindness that shifted your entire day. Those moments required nothing but being there, not gifts, not grand plans, just attention. Practicing presence is like training a muscle. The more you do it, the richer your days become. When you intentionally choose presence, you choose connection, and connection becomes the backbone of a joyful life. Hold that steady, because next we'll see how communities are built from these small, intentional acts. Communities are not formed by possessions, but by shared moments. The backyard cookout where strangers became friends, the volunteer night where laughter mixed with purpose, the late-night study session that felt less like work and more like belonging. Each moment compounds, stitching a future you can rely on. As you collect experiences, you also collect a network of people who make joy sustainable. This is why choosing moments is an act of investment, not in things, but in the people and memories that make you resilient. Let that idea guide you as we move toward the turning point where small choices become life-altering. There comes a moment when a thought becomes a choice. You might be scrolling, feeling a hollow satisfaction that fades, or standing in a store convinced you need another thing. Then you pause, remember the photograph in your mind, and make a different choice. To call a friend, to accept an invitation, to go for a walk at sunset. That decision is where power lives. It's not grand or dramatic. It's 1,000 small pivots that add up. Each time you choose an experience over an item, you strengthen the life you want to live. Keep that decision with you as we climb toward the most honest and motivating truth about collecting moments. Courage isn't always roaring. Often it's a quiet yes, a slow acceptance of imperfection, a willingness to be present even when it's inconvenient, or the bravery to let go of things that no longer serve you. When you choose a conversation over a shopping cart, you are showing a form of courage that reshapes your days. Those small acts of bravery become a language you speak to yourself, that your life is defined by relationships and experiences, not by accumulation. Hold that courage like a lantern, because it will light a path to your most meaningful moments. Now imagine living every month by that principle. Weekends filled with impromptu road trips, evenings reserved for storytelling, birthdays marked by presents instead of gifts. Imagine your home filled with souvenirs that are footprints, ticket stubs, photographs, a jar of pressed flowers, each one a reminder of a story you shared. That is the peak truth. When you live by the quote, your life becomes a constellation of meaningful points, each one lighting the next. This is not romantic fantasy. It is practical rebellion against instant gratification. Keep that peak in mind as we slow down to take it into the rhythm of your days. Start small. Schedule an unstructured hour this week to sit with someone you care about without phones. Trade one shopping impulse for an experience you'll remember, a morning hike, a museum evening, a dinner cooked together. Keep a jar of tiny notes where you write one memory per week and watch them multiply into a treasury. These small practices become rituals that rewire what you value. Take one of these ideas and try it tomorrow. Notice how your heart responds. Let that trial become the seed of a new rhythm, because the most lasting transformations are gentle and steady. You are not alone in this. Invite friends and family to join you in collecting moments. Create shared traditions, a monthly storyteller night, a day where devices sleep and conversation wakes, or a neighborhood swap of skills and stories. When you invite others, you multiply joy and create accountability to the life you want. Your invitation is an act of leadership, gentle, brave, communal. Keep that in mind as you consider how your choices ripple through your community and beyond, building a culture that values presence over possession. Remember this: collecting moments is an intentional promise to live with curiosity, with presence, and with generosity. It is an act of defiance against a culture that equates accumulation with worth. When you choose experiences, you choose a fuller, braver, kinder life, one stitched together by stories, relationships, and meaning. If you feel ready, begin now. Pick one moment to collect this week, then share it below so we can celebrate together. Subscribe to keep walking this path with a community that values joy, and share this with someone who needs the reminder. Comment your favorite memory and let us learn from each other. This is how we grow. Collect moments, not things. Live richly together.